Well, dear Bruce, we're very, very happy to have you here in Madrid, and I would like to make the most of this opportunity to just ask you a few questions about PERC.
I would love to talk to you about PERC and anything about PSYCH-K because it's one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Great. You're the PSYCH-K and PERC fan, number one
Yes,
fan.
absolutely. Changed my life, so I'm very much in support of it. Yes.
It has changed mine too, and
Yeah.
I would like to be able to let the world know about PERC, and I wanted to know, what do you think about PERC? How can PERC help the world?
Well, when we start dealing with the business level, the business is a community. And then people join that community to support the program, whatever that corporation, let's say, is doing. So people, they get interviewed for a job and they say, oh, I would love to work for this company. I'm going to be really strong, support you, and do all the things I can. Well, this is really nice, except obviously we know this comes from the conscious mind. Okay? And that only operates about 5% of the time.
Right.
So if you hire somebody based on the conscious mind, you may only get 5% of what they say they're going to deliver. And therefore, what we have to recognize is, yes, everybody joined the company because they want to, in their conscious, mind, they want to help the company and be part of it. And that's really great, except that if 95% of the behavior is coming from the subconscious mind, then maybe when they're on the job, actually maybe when they're on the job, 95% of their effort is going to come through the subconscious mind. And if that subconscious mind is not in harmony with their wishes and their desires, then really what that means is, while they're working, they're not really supporting the community. They're actually, everybody's on their own little individual track. But most of the time, this is not in support. So PERC is an opportunity to make sure not only is your conscious mind contributing to the job, but your subconscious efforts are going to be supporting the job as well. So you're working 100% of the time for the company. And it's really difficult because if a company doesn't realize that 95% of their employees' behavior is not represented by what their conscious mind said they were going to do, then a company starts to lose out because the people are not really supporting that company. Not because their conscious mind doesn't want them to support it, it's just because their subconscious program, which is mostly negative, is really running the show. So therefore, their efforts are really not the best efforts as long as they're coming from that subconscious. PERC is a great example of using the PSYCH-K process, not just for the individual, but for the collective community. And therefore, it is one of the most important investments a business can have, is to make sure every one of its employees, especially those on a board, are all working in harmony, not just with their conscious wishes and desires, but their subconscious programs are supporting that same mission. And this will make a business a success if everybody's on the same page, doing the same job.
Right. Okay, and what do you think we can tell the leaders of companies and the businessmen to help them realize that this is the way to go to
Well, the most important understanding is the stuff that was brought out in Biology of Belief and in PSYCH-K, that our efforts are not really coming from our conscious wishes and desires. And that's what we're using when we have a job interview. So when you talk to a person one-on-one, oh yeah, I'm going to be the best employee you can get.
Yeah.
But once you leave them on their own, they start to go into their subconscious programming. And that's where sabotage is unconscious, but will happen because most people's programs do not support success. And therefore, we just have to have business people understand this is a real important part, because if you're just interviewing the conscious mind, then you're really missing what that worker is going to provide when they're on the job. And therefore, you really want to know if their subconscious programs support the job or not. And most subconscious programs won't. And that's why any company that's seeking success would first make sure everybody's on the, doing the same intention and wishes, not just in their conscious activity, but more importantly, that their subconscious programs are supporting the business.
Right, and also about taking into account the principles of nature that are, which are the base of PSYCH-K and PSYCH also.
Well, listen, the principles of nature are so important that we are facing a mass extinction now, where the planet is, where nature, the web of life is falling apart. And that's because we are not living in harmony with nature. And as a result, the environment is undergoing an upheaval that even science says we're going into a mass extinction. Even the NASA, the space agency in the United States, came out with a very big scientific report and said industrial civilization is facing a collapse within the next few decades. Well, that's a very serious report, because it says the industrial world that we depend on will collapse within the next 20 or 30 years. And that's because we haven't been living in harmony with nature. So this is a time for us to change our behavior, not as just individuals, we must do that as well, but as corporate entities, because corporations are really directing the fate of this world at this time.
Right. Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and very welcome to Madrid.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.